My name is Adam Andrzejewski, and I'm the CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com. We've got a great topic this week. It's on Dr. Anthony Fauci. So, you know our mission at OpenTheBooks.com. It's to post every dime online in real time. And because of that mission, we were front and center this week. As a matter of fact, yesterday, or 2 days ago, in the well of the Senate, when the questioning of Dr. Anthony Fauci on his financial disclosures happened. Before we get into the details of that exchange, I want to welcome my co-host, Tamara Colbert. Tamara, you there?
I'm here, Adam. This is the hottest topic in the country right now. So there was a very fiery exchange in the Senate hearing with Dr. Fauci 2 days ago, and he ended up calling U.S. Senator from Kansas, Senator Marshall, a moron. Can you walk us through that exchange?
Well, Dr. Fauci lost his cool. The Honorable U.S. Senator Roger Marshall, he was asking Dr. Fauci about how much money he made, his salary. He referenced our reporting at OpenTheBooks.com as we published at Forbes a year ago that Fauci is the number one most highly compensated federal employee and makes $434,000. He then went on to ask Dr. Fauci if his financial and conflict disclosures were online, if they were publicly available, because the U.S. Senator, a sitting U.S. Senator, there's only 100 of them, he couldn't get his hands on Fauci's disclosures. And Fauci, he lost his cool. He got exasperated under this line of questioning. He said, of course, my financials are, quote, public knowledge. He doubled back to it. He said, of course they're public knowledge. All you have to do is ask for it. And then he came back to it a third time, Tamara, and he said, what are you talking about? My financial disclosures are public knowledge? You've been getting amazingly wrong information. So that was the exchange in the United States Senate. It was premised on our data. It was premised on our investigations published at Forbes. And it was framed, the U.S. Senator's question was framed within our ongoing federal lawsuit versus the National Institutes of Health to get our hands on Dr. Fauci's financial records.
So, Adam, the $64,000 question, maybe it's the $464,000 question, is, are Dr. Fauci's records and disclosures available?
No, they're not. We've had to file a federal lawsuit to get our hands on them. It's absolutely incredible. So here's what's not publicly available. His salary. Okay, when we talk about his $434,000 a year salary that leads all the 4.3 million federal employees, we're talking about the latest salary available for anybody at the federal level, and that is fiscal year 2020. Tamara, we're in the second quarter at the federal level in fiscal year 2022. Fauci's got 2 years of salary. We don't know how much he makes. We've reached out on a request for comment to his bosses to ask if they'll disclose his salary. We don't hear back. Okay. So first, just the most basic financial disclosure, how much he makes, we don't know. Nobody knows. It's not disclosed. Okay. We can go from there. Okay. His job description. We filed that Freedom of Information Act request a year ago. We've had to sue for it. They won't turn it over. They say they have it, but we don't have a copy of it. Okay, let's go to his confidentiality agreement. If one exists, they haven't produced that. We've sued him for it. We'll find out over the next couple of weeks if he has a confidentiality agreement. This is very important because if he has a hush agreement with his department and he's doing all this media, what can't he talk about? What can't he tell the American people about? His reputation is that he's a truth teller. Well, if he's got a hush agreement, we need to know about that. And his conflict of interest and his financial disclosures, we've had to sue for that. We don't know his financial trades from 2020 during the pandemic or 2021 or in the first quarter of 2022. So his financial disclosures are online in 2019, but not in the last 2.25 fiscal years.
So, Adam, we've had to sue to try to get these records. They have rejected that. what is the status of the lawsuit? What are the next steps? Where do we go from here?
So here's what we know. Because of the suit that we filed in October, 10 months after we filed our Freedom of Information Act request, we were, in Dr. Fauci's words, Tamara, we were asking for his financial disclosures. And after 10 months of asking, they dribbled out, in that 10 months, they dribbled out 51 pages. Okay, we now know, because of the suit, they're holding 1,200 pages of financial and conflict disclosures, his job description, his contract with all changes, amendments, and modifications to that. They're holding that information, 1,200 pages. They say they're going to start to roll it out on February 1st, but there's a catch. They're only going to disclose 300 pages a month. So it's going to take months to get our hands on the 1,200 pages. And now, after Dr. Fauci's testimony, we just heard back from the National Institutes of Health, from the lawyers that represent them at the Department of Justice, and they're going to battle us on the release of large amounts of that 1,200 pages. They were going to start releasing it. We had come to a negotiated agreement on February 1st, and it looks like they're going to battle us to try not to release it even on February 1.
So, Adam, I'm in PR, full disclosure. I do public relations for Open the Books. If I was writing a case study, this would be not how you handle your public data and your most public facing personality with the media. How do we now go forward? Because we've got Fauci saying one thing publicly, the NIH now getting their lawyers involved to push back. What are those next steps that we need our viewers tonight, there's a lot of them, to pay attention and follow our lead on?
So this is an unfolding story. The first thing is, bring yourself up in terms of education on this. PolitiFact just fact-checked the statements from U.S. Senator Marshall. We were used as a source on that. They opened the books, Freedom of Information Act request for Fauci's financial disclosures, followed by our lawsuit, held up, of course, it's all factual information, it's all a timeline. Right. We held up at PolitiFact. And so when Dr. Fauci goes to the United States Senate, says, yeah, you can have my financial disclosures, all you have to do is ask for it. Well, we did that. We didn't get it. We filed that lawsuit, and we've held up now at PolitiFact. So first, educate yourself. Read our Forbes piece. Just Google Forbes, Fauci. It should come right up. And the piece is entitled, No, Fauci's records aren't available online. And why won't the National Institutes of Health immediately release them? That's the title of the piece. Just Google it and read the whole thing. It's very, very interesting on what they're holding back. And they're holding back nearly everything. What they're disclosing, and this is only a little bit of an exaggeration. We know that Dr. Fauci is the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. And we also know he's the chief medical advisor to the president, Joe Biden. Beyond that, we don't know a whole heck of a lot about Dr. Anthony Fauci, his finances, and his disclosure.
And the Constitution, the taxpayers pay his bill. It is our right to know all of those details. Let's end with something that you always include in all of your speeches, Adam, related to the constitutionality of such a request, whether it was Anthony Fauci or the vice president. You talk about this in every speech that you give. Can you remind the American people what in the Constitution gives us the authority to ask for these disclosures?
Well, it's plainly written in Article 1, Section 9 of the United States Constitution, where it says that a regular statement and account of the receipts and expenditures of all public money shall be published from time to time. This is not a maybe. This is not there's no equivocation. It's a shall. It is a power and duty of every citizen to be able to request this information.
Absolutely. So you can always, we've got all of our Fauci pieces that we've written in the last year up currently in the news section on openthebooks.com. We will post those here, and please stay tuned. Adam will be on Newsmax Saturday morning, and we hope you will stay tuned because this is a breaking, ongoing story, and we will report everything as it's breaking. Please stay tuned. Next Thursday, we'll be back for another ripoff of the week at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. See you then.